Hey, what's up guys, I'm Sahil from Chronostech, and one of the things that truly matters in not just gaming but daily life too, to make your experience rich are keyboards. Gaming keyboards. Now everyone has their choice of build materials, keys, macros, lights, and a ton of options, but there are some great keyboards out there that have made a legacy for themselves. And one of such keyboards is the Corsair K70 keyboard. Touted as one of the best gaming keyboards ever, quality is what you get when you pay a hefty chunk of money, and this keyboard oozes quality. There isn't much that has changed from its predecessors, but there's a small changes that refine the product and in turn your experience. It comes in an all-black brushed aluminum chassis that's gonna stay for a long while against the test of time. The quality of the keyboard is something that you need to be least bothered about. The finish on the keyboard is something that you'll be in awe of when you see it at the first. This whole thing is beautifully built and it feels like a tank. Now everything is just made up to a mark where you probably couldn't ask for more. But that's just in terms of build quality. The K7, as you might know, it exists in the RGB variant and the single color variant. You can also get an option for the red, brown and blue Cherry MX switches. This one right here is in the single color and with the red switches. There's not much difference between both the keyboards in terms of overall hardware. The keys are made of a really good quality material and feel very premium. All the keys are slightly rounded for a more ergonomic feel. Spacebar being the only exception, it has this mesh-like pattern on the top that helps with differentiating it from the other keys, and it provides grip to a really good level. Now speaking of the keys, this keyboard has got the red cherry linear MX switches that provide a non-tactile feedback. But what does that mean? What it means is that you won't really feel a bump in there while pressing the key, and you don't have to push too hard to reach the actuation point, as they require a very low actuation force, which means a really low pressing force if you may, and it comes in a tie with the brown Cherry MX switches, which along with the blue Cherry MX switches gives you a bump or sort of a click when pressing them. So there's a confirmation that you pressed the key. The keyboard presents 100% anti-ghosting and N-key rollover so that every key you pressed is scanned by the microcontroller, and when you're pressing multiple keys at once, it doesn't lose track of the keys that you pressed. So how's the experience? For me, the experience was great. I used it to play a bunch of games and there were no drops or any noticeable latency at all in the key presses. The keyboard is built very well ergonomically, although if you're coming from a membrane or a chiclet keyboard, then it's sure gonna take you some time to adapt and you'll soon find yourself getting used to it. A braided dual USB power cord supplies power to the keyboard, and it's got two USB channels, one for the power and lights and all that stuff, and one for the keyboard itself. But that is when you have a USB 2.0 port. If you have a USB 3.0 port, then all that you need is just plug in the wire that has the keyboard symbol embossed on it, and it'll be ready to roll. On the back of the keyboard is a polling rate selector that helps you keep the keyboard tuned to take those split-second lethal headshots, right next to a BIOS mode switch that improves compatibility with the older hardware and also outside the OS. It also has a USB pass-through port that you can use to connect virtually any USB device like a USB mouse or a hub or anything like that for accessibility. On the top, it's got 5 media keys right next to the classy rolling volume control. This is one of my favorite parts of the keyboard. It's the example of a good design and functionality. There's a key to lock the Windows key so that you don't get disturbed while playing games, and the start menu does not pop up right when you're about to break in your record. The logo of the keyboard has also changed to the new sales logo, which in my opinion looks better and more minimal and suits the overall style of the keyboard. Now with the keyboard you also get additional reddish maroon kind of keys with contours that guide you towards pressing the right key every single time, even when you're not looking towards them. They're raised towards a specific side that gives you this different feel for each of the keys, and you can easily tell what key you're pressing by just the feel of it. Along with that, Corsair also includes a soft wrist rest that helps keep your wrist free of strain, or at least try to do that, which is actually quite efficient at it. Putting it on is really easy and it feels great. The keyboard is very well illuminated by the LEDs, and coming to that, this keyboard has got the blue LEDs that are directly mounted on top of the red cherry switches and are not surface mounted on the keyboard, so they are not susceptible to failure from static discharge. And you can expect it to be running for a pretty good time, as it's a very good keyboard and it has made a name for itself in the mechanical keyboards, directly competing with the Razer Black Widow and the Logitech G series and the Orion series. This keyboard right here comes with the blue LEDs, which in my opinion really complements the black color, although I like the red ones more. And these right here are just the monocolors, unlike the Strafe RGB keyboard that lets you set thousands of color combinations, and not just thousands, actually millions of color combinations. Now coming to that, the keyboard has 4 brightness settings that help you take it from the ambient to pretty sharp light for gaming at night. The light is evenly spread throughout the keys, and it doesn't look like a particular patch of light somewhere around the key. It's just even lighting. The only downside I feel to all this is that the keyboard lacks the Q support. Now if you don't know what Q is, then it's the Corsair utility engine that helps you pick custom light patterns and effects that you can use to change with different games. You can also set them for specific functions, and you can get the macro codes from the Corsair community, which is a really active place to pick up some cool lightning tricks. And if you own a Strafe or RGB keyboard, then you can select from different color profiles and modes to work with specific applications too. So all those cool things, they're missing. That's right. If there was some way that Corsair could make Q work with this keyboard, then it would be a mean deal to stay away from. Overall, it's a pretty good keyboard, and I have no problem whatsoever with whatever is present on the keyboard itself. It's just the things that are amiss, or are not there. Summing it all up, you are really getting a good keyboard with precision keystrokes and some amazing build quality. You cannot go wrong with this one. It's available at 10,000 rupees on eBay and a couple more websites. I'll link them all out in the description below, and as low as $100, or more precisely $99 on Amazon US. The links to that also will be in the description below. If you plan on buying one, please consider buying it from the links in the description below. It really helps the channel grow and keeps me motivated to make videos like these. If you have any questions, then drop them down in the comment section below and tell me what you think about the keyboard. Smash the like button if you liked the video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos. I'm Sahil, and I'll see you in the next one.